The Elisa Ann Rouge Burn Foundation is a community fighting for a California that is safe and free from the impact of burn injuries. We are survivors. We are first responders. We are educators.
Stop, drop, and roll.
We are givers. We are helpers. Our community perseveres together no matter what, and that perseverance was tested in 2020. Early in the year, we had planned 149 survivor services events and 49 fundraising events, with the hope of raising over $1.4 million in revenue.
More than 14,000 reported cases.
California is now under a statewide stay-at-home order.
A statewide order.
With the support of our donors and volunteers, we remained open and took immediate action to support our community. On March 16th, we began regularly phoning all of our survivors. We distributed over $3,000 in gas and food gift cards to those in need. We listened and supported survivors facing new emotional, physical, and economic stress due to the pandemic. We transitioned regular survivor support groups online and developed a multi-resource library to keep survivors engaged in the community and their own self-care.
A new way for you to stay connected, active, and involved in our foundation.
We celebrated our community's 2020 graduates, awarding thousands of dollars in scholarships. We amplified our burn prevention messaging online as California sheltered in place. Burn prevention was critical during this time, as 70% of all burn injuries occur in the home, and our first responders faced elevated risk. We continuously communicated with our entire community. We let our donors and volunteers know that their support made our continued programming possible. We worked to pivot our fundraising efforts online.
I'm Junior Bryant, burn survivor and former 49er. Right now, we need your support more than ever.
Our leadership guided us through the challenges of applying for PPP funding and governing the organization at an unprecedented time, and walked side by side with our staff as they navigated professional and personal challenges, including the loss of family members. Meanwhile, our program staff faced the toughest decision of all. For 35 years, over 100 burn-injured children eagerly await Champ Camp, a week-long residential summer camp experience to play, learn, grow, gain self-esteem, and make new friends. Champ Camp is so much more than a program or a tradition. It's a time when our survivors, volunteers, staff, and first responders come together as a family. But there was just no way to keep that family physically together and keep them safe. The difficult decision was made by staff to take Champ Camp virtual.
I'm saddened today to announce that the Elisa Ann Rouge Burn Foundation has decided that we'll not be able to meet this year in person for Champ Camp as expected.
But would our volunteers stand by us?
Instead of canceling it completely, counselors are now sending these boxes out to campers, and that started yesterday, stuffed with all kinds of snacks, crafts, and activities that they would be able to get if they were actually at camp.
This year will be a little different because of the coronavirus.
On our first planning call, over 77 volunteers attended.
We reached out to all of our counselors and we got on a Zoom call. Had 70 plus of us on a call.
We were the first burn camp to go virtual in 2020. Our campers and volunteers brought every bit of imagination and love to virtual camp as they do to in-person camp. By July, it was clear that the challenges of COVID-19 would be impacting our programming for at least the remainder of 2020. So we began to plan on how to take our firefighters and safety education program virtual. Tens of thousands of students across the state are touched by our FICE program every year. As part of our continued commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, we adapted our resources and programs to reach new populations, like seniors and new Americans. And we shared our lessons learned with the field, hosting webinars and trainings with other burn foundations. The fundraising events we rely on for half of our revenue each year continue to be canceled for safety reasons. We'll get through this, but it's hard to face a budget shortfall in a year when there is still so much work left to do. Whether we're facing the challenges of a global pandemic or unprecedented wildfires, we'll get through this together. 2021 marks our 50th anniversary. With your support, we'll continue to fight for a California that is safe from the impact of burn injuries. We'll continue to teach students to stop, drop, and roll. We'll sit around the campfire again. we'll let every survivor and family member know that they are not alone. Join us. Sign up to volunteer or make a gift online at www.aarbf.org.